Oh no. I just turned the camera on. I thought I was turning it off.
One-foot-flipper.
Hi, Paige here, the One-Foot-Flipper. I think today we're just gonna look at some sales, maybe look at a couple of purchases, think about how the year's gone so far since it is almost Christmas. Okay, I'm filming this segment for a second time because I never press the start button on the camera. You ever done anything like that? I sold... Oh, everything's upside down now, too. I sold Christina Aguilera. She's only been in the store for about a week. This is from 1999 when people cared about Christina Aguilera. That was back when Eminem wanted her to switch me chairs so he could sit next to Carson Daly and Fred Durst. Just like the real lady, she is a little bit rough around the edges and is apparently worth $10. Sold real fast, though. Jenny Cub, Tile Rummy board game. Never played it. $10.30. Pretty sure I got that in a bulk buy of games, and I wasn't specifically trying to buy that title. A Swiss rubber water bag. New für der Trinkwasser, exclusivement pour portable, solo per aqua potable. This was on the floor of the Goodwill bins, literally on the floor, $25.71. I probably paid $4 to $5 for it based upon the weight. Hats related to automotive performance are usually quite sellable. This one sold for $10.62 and advertises S&W Performance in Spring City, Pennsylvania. You think they still exist? I think sometimes the hats for the places that don't exist anymore are more legit than the ones for the places that do exist. Now, somebody in my comments yesterday, actually a couple of people, were telling me that I shouldn't try to sell bad video games, that I don't understand the video game market or how to sell them. I certainly wasn't a specialist in video games at one point in time before they were probably born, but that's the idea that I would be stuck with this bad video game that sold for $3.83 would never occur to them because they're not full-time sellers. They are they're video game collectors who flip video games part-time and pick out their purchases one at a time. They'd never buy this game because it only sells for $3.83. They're going to the garage sales and thrift stores and only picking out the hits, valuing their time at zero, but converting, selling off those duplicates and converting it into another copy of Pokemon Red. They've never purchased an entire van load full of stuff sight unseen, nor are they purchasing 800 video games at the same time. That's just not how they're operating it, so they don't understand how a full-time seller operates. I seriously used to specialize in NES cartridges and CDs back in the 90s. Yep, I was all media back then, back when it was still good. The program to the 81st Annual Oscars, 2009, $10.94. All right, I'm so glad I actually pressed the play button this time. Now I'm going to press the stop button. All right, Julie, you got I think you know who this is from, but for everybody else, this is from an anonymous viewer of mine. This is Julie's Christmas gift bag.
Pencil pouches. Pencil pouches that are also shoes. I love this. I love this a lot.
Those look like the same shoes that I wore for like 3 years straight.
They do. Maybe that's the reason I got them. Hubba Bubba, I can't chew this, but thank you.
But you trade it then.
Yeah. Gum is like currency at my school. What's this? Oh, $100. Now you're speaking my language.
Now I'm gonna look bad.
Oh,
the bag makes music. It's a wind-up bag. All right, Julie, is there anything else in the bag?
Sorry for ruining the music box.
The music box still works, Jules.
It's a doll bakery thing? These are adorable. They're lip glosses.
Oh, cool.
These are adorable. I like it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. That is just too much.
It really is.
Alright, this is a surprisingly worthless Wi-Fi router, sold for $7.76. At least I'll probably make some money on the shipping on it. I don't think I paid much for it. I got it at a garage sale where it was make a donation, which usually I donate too much of those, so yeah, I probably did pay too much for it. Sold some various personalized ornaments to various people, some of which were viewers. Thank you to all the viewers and to everybody else who purchased them. $6.99 each. There's about 6 different varieties in my store. Minnesota Vikings hat, salute to service, $17 even, which means had it less than a month. Battles of Culkin Goal. This is a add-on to the Memoir 44 board game in an envelope form, because you would just get this in the mail. $13.55. That came with one of my big board game buys from my first year, and I probably just misplaced it for a long time before listing it. What else do I got here? I got Fleetwood Mac Bare Trees, not the best looking condition, $4.93. And somewhere I sold this CD. Dime Store Hoods promo CD, $10.08. Alright, I sold this VHS tape that I got at the bins. Yeah, I normally hate media, but every once in a while something catches my eye. This is Little Darlings. What caught my eye is the cover. Hadn't ever heard of it, turned it over, it was R-rated. And I'm like, yep, I bet that's worth looking up. And it was sold for $7.76. You know all those movies where a bunch of high school boys will make these bets to lose their virginity? This is that movie, except it's girls making the bet, and it's from the early 80s. Got marked down a few times, probably started at $9. Okay, viewer Jackie has figured out that most of my light items will automatically combine shipping if you put them in the cart, and she's really taken advantage of that. She got 5 assorted bars of Squatch soap for $4.99 each, and she got a big stack of VHS. Mostly sealed. Meatloaf's not sealed, but the rest of them are. Got a Bible, a couple of Bible ones, Little Mermaid, Lady and the Tramp, Sound of Music, Wizard of Oz, Prince of Egypt, and Pollyanna. And because they auto-combine shipping, she didn't have to pay much shipping on that. Sold a As Seen on TV Miracle Thaw sheet of metal for $6.21. 2 Drabant miniatures of the Great Northern War, 40mm, $13.76. I got these from viewer Zach. A little bit of money to go on a spreadsheet. Alright, I thought I'd show you something that's going to be new in my store now. They should be up by the time you see this video. We've got, these are old stock hats with new graphics placed on them. Basically, we got pineapple hats for your resellers. You got your winking pineapple, got your naughty pineapple, your sideways pineapple, several of your, good upright pineapples, got Mario characters, and so on. These are going to be in my store at $12 each. All of them are new old stock hats with brand new graphics applied. Okay. Viewer Jackie bought 3 cases of Starbucks coffee K-Cups and 6 assorted Squatch products for $62.34. Thanks so much for your continued patronage, Jackie. Let's see, what else do we have here? I sold about 9 different personalized ornaments. Got all kinds of these in the store. $6.99 each. You probably saw this recently in a video and it's already gone. This is a new unboxed Nishika 3D camera. Takes photos out of 4 lenses at the same time on standard 35mm film, although getting it developed is complicated these days. This sold for $130. This has been in the store for a while. I didn't know if I was ever going to sell. The Perfect Brownie Pan sold for $8.86 plus shipping. And I'm going to have to wipe the side of this off. It's got some gick on it just from being around for too long. It was near a fan, not a fan. What do you call it? The thing that the air comes out of the wall? A register or a vent or something? All right, that's cleaned up. I sold this set of Hawk HO figurines for model train sets. This is really old, and the buyer was very concerned that the packaging didn't get damaged because he's making a museum type display of these items in the packaging. And I said, no worries, I'll put it in a box. I sold this APA Pool Player Championships metal tumbler, 20 ounce, from Vegas, $8.50. And I'm not going to show it because it's upstairs, but I sold a single floral gold rim lunch plate for $3.71. I don't like glass. I should have shipped that a couple of days ago, but the people wanted to know if I had anything to match it, and I knew I had a box of glass I hadn't listed, but none of it matched. I sold this 1987 Warhammer Fantasy Minotaur, nicely painted, for $12.74. So, you getting any of those holiday returns yet? I'm about to make one myself. I'm about to return this scooter to Amazon here. This is a supposedly adult kick scooter. Basically, it's my daughter's favorite thing in the world, but they're all built like garbage, basically. This is her third one since June. All different brands, and every single one of them, the frame has cracked on. All different brands, every single one, the frame is cracked right behind the folding mechanism for the scooter. This one luckily failed so quickly that I'm able to actually return it to Amazon. And thankfully, because of you guys out there in eBay, I was able to afford to just say, you know what, forget it, I'm just going to buy her the $300 one. The only bad reviews on that one say that it's a little harder to steer than normal. And so she finally stopped cracking the things in half. And it's not that she's too big for them or anything like that or does stunts. She's 100 pounds under the weight limit for these things and rides casually on a flat surface back and forth. And every single one of them breaks. Oh, look, it broke in half. That's quality for you. Alright, let's get to some real stuff. Alright, I sold this Hall & Oates Greatest Hits Part 1 album for $15. It has a worn cover, but the inside is mint condition. Viewer Jackie, for a total of, I believe, $53 plus shipping, bought 5 Squatch soaps, 1 Zuzu stuffed animal with a shape, color changing stomach, and 1 strawberry bunny and a donut. Thanks, Jackie. I sold this Warhammer part. It is Imperial Le Mans Rust turret with metal cannon. This sold for, I took it off for $13 on it. I had this lost forever. So I upped the price to $118. I finally found it, lowered the price to $18. Somebody gave me a $13 offer and it sold. Incredible thing is how many watchers this thing got while I had it at $118. It had like 8 watchers on it. Did people really think this was going to sell for $118? Were they willing to pay something near $118 for this? I couldn't imagine why. And if they were, I'm sorry I took the low ball. Pebble Beach Slouch Hat. New with torn tag. $13.49. Had 35 cents into this from the Goodwill outlet. Leapfrog Leapster. Kind of like a Game Boy for toddlers. $24 with 1 game tested working. This is from the Goodwill outlet. I think my daughter actually found this. Or somebody handed it to me, one or the other, because people hand me things at the bin sometimes. People who recognize me and know what kind of stuff I sell. I got this at the bins, a Milton Bradley Ice Cube game. I got this on my way in one morning, but I was at the back of the line, so 75 people passed this. It was right on top of the first bin. 75 people passed this before I got there and grabbed it, and I sold this for $200. It did have comps in the $275 range, but it was up for a few months, and I eventually took the $200 offer. Happy to get $200 for something I got $5 into. Can't complain about that one bit. A Jingle Boy ornament, says Mark, $6.99. Million more in my store. 4 Dan Fogelberg albums for $17.74. I do not remember anything that Dan Fogelberg sings. And looking on the back of these is Not helping me one bit. Somebody in the comments tell me the one Dan Fogelberg song that everybody should know, so I know what it is in the future. Sold this Skaven Rat Ogre miniature, $27.35. I just got a huge buy of Warhammer miniatures that might be later in this video. I hope it is. I just had a big package arrive from Trim Goods. There will be a link to his store down in the description. He had originally contacted ADH Dave because he had found a bunch of Warhammer figures, didn't know what to do with them. Dave referred him to me because I'm apparently, as far as the video people go, I'm the expert in this area, and I ended up purchasing the collection he found. Let's take a quick look. I've kind of sorted them out into this whole table on the right is plastic figures. This table on the right is metal figures and vehicles. Your metal figures and vehicles are going to be where most of the money in a Warhammer collection comes in. Like, I paid $400 ship for this collection. I'm hoping to get that back out of the metal figures. I'm not sure if I will in this particular collection, but there's enough good plastic figures here where this collection should still turn me a profit, and I'm probably going to keep about 20% of it. Like, I don't have a big group of orcs yet, so I might keep about 20 of those. I might keep about 20 of the goblins, and the rest of it I'm going to sell off. If you find this Warhammer stuff, I have normal going rates that I pay for the stuff, or you can send it to me and let me go over it, and then I'll just pay you fairly. You can either way. You can get the going rate up front, or you can let me look over it when it gets here. If generally you're going to get more money if I look over it when it gets here, but if it ends up being all junk, you're going to do worse. So it's kind of a toss-up. All right, let's go ahead and get on to the next thing. All right, I sold this Jägermeister cadet hat. 2 logos here and here. So, do you think like a 22-year-old bought this, or a 47-year-old wanting to relive being 22 bought this? I'm not sure. Post it in the comments. This is a Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Combat Patrol in this box. It's boring looking because it's not painted or put together. $83.29. Sold a bunch of sledding snowmen ornaments, $6.99 each. I don't have them in front of me at the moment, but they're in my store. Didn't have this very long. You might have seen this in one of my previous videos, the InSync hotline phone. This is a game where girls call the members of InSync on the phone. It hooks up to your Windows 98 computer. Not sure if it works on modern computers or not. This sold for $20 even in less than a week. Just going to show one piece to it. There's 5 pieces altogether. In 1997. Well, this is probably my last episode before Christmas. I bet you're all getting ready at your house, and we're getting ready at our house. Our ladies are making gingerbread houses.
Hi, Merry Christmas.
Hello, Merry Christmas.
All right, Merry Christmas, everybody, and thank you for a wonderful year. Ooh, I wonder if I have to redo this entire thing. My camera just did a weird thing where it said file repaired. I sold this 1997 Red Box Medieval Castle. This is one of the 5 pieces. I had it up at 20. I hadn't even had it up a month yet, but somebody offered me $15.45, and I took it because it was taking a nice chunk of shelf up. Might have seen this a few videos ago. InSync hotline phone. Had this in the store only about a week. This is where the girls or boys would call up the members of InSync on the phone and talk to them to see, you know, who their dream boy is or whatever else like that. This would hook up to your Windows 98 computer. I don't know if it works on modern computers. This sold for $20 even. Sold a bunch of sledding snowmen ornaments, $6.99 each. There's plenty of them in my store. I sold a Micro Z galvanic stimulator that I found at the bins. This may or may not be a medical device as far as eBay is concerned, so I put as few details in as possible. Basically, I just put the title, just put the name of it and the photos, nothing in item details, and it sold in about 4 days for $40. Oh, this is a Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Combat Patrol incomplete, sold for $83.29. There's nothing to look at because it's unpainted, not put together plastic miniatures. This is a Blood Bowl team from the early 90s. Blood Bowl was Games Workshop's fantasy-based football game based off American football, even though they're in England. This team sold for $70.52. Foghat Live is the album that I've found most of every record I've ever sold. This is about the 5th time I've sold it. This one sold for $9.89. Hey, thanks for making it all the way to the end. If you haven't already, could you hit that subscribe button? It's the main thing I'm in this for, because the money isn't really worth it. Thanks, and I hope to see you again soon.
See, that's One Foot Flipper's nonsense video.
So, Christmas time has me thinking about, why is almost every Santa Claus movie about either somebody else becoming Santa Claus or somebody else having to make his deliveries? And what was the first one of those movies? I'm really not sure. In my childhood, it seems like they were all like that, you know, from Ernest Saves Christmas on forward. But what was the very first one? Why don't you post it down in the comments?